big challenge. But anyway, here goes. I'm Stan and I'm here with my wife Mari and our sponsor Philida, and we just were supposed to be on a holiday here but have been made to sing for our supper. So we are here with you. Mari and I founded Accord 30 years ago, which was a charity that works with the indigenous people in the Gudalur Valley of the Nilgiri Hills in Tamil Nadu in South India, because indigenous people had all lost their lands and we were working to help them to assert their land rights and get their land back. But that work led on to working in health and education and setting up a number of other charities to provide specialized services for the community. I am here today to talk of one particular initiative which is housed within the Vidyodaya Trust, which runs as 2 schools, but we have launched a new program which we piloted last year for young tribal youth who have opted out of the mainstream educational system for a variety of reasons. Because of distance, remoteness of their village, having to travel through elephant-infested forests to come to school and then hear a strange language because none of the teachers speak their own tribal language, to be discriminated against within the school system, you name it, a host of reasons keep them away from school or get them to opt out of school. But then these children are all first-generation learners, and even if they did stay in the regular school, they tend to be distanced from their own communities because of the curriculum and everything is very different. They don't learn anything about their own community and about the vast amount of knowledge that is in their communities. Adivasis comprise 8% of the population of India, and that's a lot, okay? And they have traditionally been hunter-gatherers, living at one with nature. But over centuries, they have been discriminated against, treated as ignorant jungle folk, and very often, and including in Gudalur, their lands were taken away from them through a variety of processes, most of them not quite legal. And so they have ended up being laborers on land which was once their own. And their precious role of protecting the environment and the natural resources around them has now come increasingly under threat because they are forced to move away from their forest homes and seek employment as laborers in other plantations. Young people are unable to live with their parents, or are unable to live like their parents and grandparents did, and struggle to cope with the modern world, and are slowly but surely estranged from their traditional egalitarian communities, customs, and way of life. And the price they pay to try and become part of modern society is malnutrition, poor health, depression, alcoholism, and even suicide, even though this was a community that does not have the word suicide in their language. And worse still, we are beginning to see violence against women within the families for a community that was a gentle, non-violent community. These are the changes that are taking place, and our young people are now vulnerable under this changing environment. And so the intervention for which we seek your support tonight is aimed at this particular vulnerable group. We are doing a lot of other things, but today I want to talk about this one project, which we call the Adivasi Foundation course, which is targeting these young people who have opted out of the mainstream school system and trying to get them to learn new skills, new life skills, and to integrate back with their community and to be contributors to their community. So this is a 1-year course, a 1-year program, which helps them to develop life skills, mainly devised and taught by tribal teachers themselves, who were students of our main school. And this program focuses on rebuilding their self-confidence, and it's done by getting them to work collectively in keeping with their traditional tribal values, to work with their hands and hands-on project and learn by doing, and by experimenting, most of all by experimenting, daring to experiment. And what we do is we seize every opportunity where they can learn. So it's not a very structured, strictly structured course. It's choosing any opportunity. So if somebody like Phillida comes, we get her to speak to the children. Any one of you come, we'll get you to take a course for the children, because there's learning to be had all around. So at the end of the course, the children will be equipped with a range of skills, including computers and computer literacy. They shifted all the computers from one room in our computer class to another room and did the wiring, the reconfiguring, everything themselves. And I'm talking about 14 to 16-year-old children. They learned carpentry, they learned craft making. Unfortunately, we meant to bring some of the crafts they've done, which is remarkable. Electrical wiring, you name it. But most importantly, we are trying to get them to develop entrepreneurial skills that will enable them to carve out for themselves a future in a modern world, but rooted in their community and their natural surroundings. We have just completed a pilot, a one-year pilot, and we have 10 graduates from there. And drawing on this, we wish, with your support, to further establish the credentials of this experiment or this pilot and demonstrate its impact and secure ongoing support for it from other statutory and non-statutory funding organizations. The numbers at this stage are necessarily limited for this program. We had 10 last year and we want to double it to 20, and the 10 of them to continue for one more year, because they are also studying to pass their high school. So this year we are trying to reach 30 students, and there'll be 5 tribal teachers working with them, with these students. But once, though it's only 30 students, it involves their communities and their villages, and they all become role models. And we are hoping that they will be catalysts to start similar things in their villages. Let me quickly tell you in the 1 minute left about Sashi, a 15-year-old boy.
You've had your 1 minute.
Did I hear my, I didn't hear my I'm sorry.